He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang, he shot me down.
Weird West is an action role-playing video game developed by WolfEye Studios and published by Devolver Digital. The game was released for Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One/Game Pass.
Destiny's calling, and it ain't taking no for an answer.
Weird West is pretty fucking weird. Take a little bit of Cowboys and Aliens, Men in Black, and maybe some Firefly, and blend them together for something that feels a little familiar but acts quite well on its own. This is Weird West, and you have the vantage point of 5 different characters and story arcs that intertwine throughout your journey. Each story arc presents a new and fully fleshed out backstory with new available talents for each character you play through. Gameplay is a top-down action quasi-role-playing sim, which is a mouthful all on its own, but much like chewing tobacco, it gives you that initial high, yet ultimately, left me wanting to spit the ending remainder out. There are some truly remarkable highlights from my screen grabs, and I'll put those up right now. A great example, no shit, one time I actually lit someone on fire from shooting a lamp hanging above their heads, only to have that fire spread to an explosive barrel and take out a whole gang. It was so funny. Another instance, I accidentally shot an explosive barrel and it caught fire next to a gang's roped up horses. PETA, don't kill me.
You're cooking in a burnt pan, you fucking dick!
Unfortunately, the horses got caught in the wake, but when I went to go loot them, I was able to actually heal up from cooked meat instead of, having to just loot the raw meat and find an open flame. So, you see, these little quirky instances provided a ton of spectacularly enjoyable moments. Most of the major highlightable scenarios are just completely random and would be incredibly hard to duplicate, which is what made the game so fun to play through initially. Had the stories been cut in half with maybe more care given to other sections of the sim experience, I believe it would have been all the better for it. Starting this game on its regular difficulty seemed to produce a lack of long-lasting fun and retention within the game reviewing community. With that in mind, I went whole hog and I started this game on hard and never looked back. The scarce resources from medkits to gold and silver and all the way down to bullets left me fully engaged in every new story that I started. If you are a veteran gamer, I highly suggest skipping the normal mode and branding yourself as a hard son of a gun right from the get-go. Graphically, I feel this game left a lot to be desired. Sure, some of the cel-shaded areas and big explosions really make a set piece or instance look really cool, but overall it lacks something overtly memorable until something pops up that is memorable. But then you kind of realize, man, the last time I even thought about that was like around 3 hours ago. However, I will say that the overall style of the game is exactly right where it needs to be. I love the interface, the stylish menus, the font choices, and hell, even the map that you spend quite a lot of time on. Like breaking in a Bronco, there's just this lacking graphical hump that Weird West never quite mounts properly. A lot of the graphical critique can be carried over into the music and sound, although I wouldn't go so far as to say it doesn't deliver. To start, the sound effects in this game are full of grit and fun to hear even on repeat. Guns have a lot of firepower while sound cues are right on target for when you're in stealth or within enemy line of sight. There's usually various eerie one-note chords playing in the background while not in a fight or game story set piece, and while I find it incredibly lacking, I do see there being a place for it in this game. By that I mean I felt like it should have been used more sparingly while incorporating some of the game's other songs during exploration or downtime. From the old music players you find in the game to enemy engagement music and mission-specific music cues, there are so many great songs that you seem to maybe only hear once or at the very least are just seriously underutilized here. Fuck with the bull, you get the horns. Weird West has a slew of technical issues as well as overall missing features that seriously hinder this game from having a higher rating. Some examples include, but not limited to, only being able to sell your junk to one vendor, around 10 crashes to desktop for no real reason, terrible inventory management, quests that just don't have the item you need in the area you're at, even after a restart of the game, and finally your AI companions disappearing and then reappearing also your AI companion, starting fights even while freaking stealthed. But the true fornicator in this game is by far the extremely clunky controls. I cannot tell you how many times I buried someone instead of looting them, and I cannot tell you how many times I was looting when I wanted to start skinning an animal. There were also so many instances when I accidentally started chatting with an ally and I just wanted to hit the damn escape key to go back, only to realize there is no back button. There's no fucking back button. While these things may seem minor in a griping review, I promise they are annoying as fuck when you hit or hold the wrong key for the literal 50th time. The lack of extra key mapping for certain actions was a disgrace and should not have been an oversight for this game whatsoever. So, in conclusion, I've been harsh on Weird West, yes, but I do want to enforce that I had a lot of fun with this game as a whole. This title has special moments that are so hard to freaking replicate in other games that you'd actually find it nearly impossible to replicate them in this game. As I said before, if Weird West were half the length and half the price, I would absolutely recommend it, warts and all. As it stands though, it's a wait for sale type of game, or, you know, luckily for most, Sheriff Daddy Phil has put it on Game Pass for you to enjoy for those 5 full-length story narratives. Or, you know, well, until you get sober and bored.